We go 2 of 3 on the 3 best prop bets for UFC Abu Dhabi as Davison Figueiredo cashes by decision at plus 110. Umar Nurmagomedov by decision cashes at plus 130. But unfortunately, Gaziev is more than happy to go out there and grind out Dontel Mays, and we have to rip up our inside the distance ticket. The long shot with Ferguson by submission plus 1200 does not come through. Chiesa a little bit more safer in the grappling realm than I was expecting him to be. But again, minus 600 on Chiesa kind of makes sense. All right, I got another 3 prop bets for you guys this week. Let's see if we can go 2 of 3 again, or at least even better, 3 of 3, and see if we can cash that spot. Just a reminder, there is no quick picks version of the podcast this week, so you'll have to rely on the full breakdown that I dropped on Monday. I've also dropped an individual video for the Chris Gutierrez and Kwang Lee matchup that was put together on Fight Week, so check out to the YouTube channel for that. And yeah, I will be out of town as of Thursday, coming back on Sunday. Should have some Contender Series breakdowns for you guys on the Patreon page, and then by Monday, I should be dropping the Contender Series breakdown on YouTube. The season kicks off next week, and then I'll also have the UFC 305 breakdowns for you guys on Monday of next week as well, so stay tuned for that. All right. With those plugs out of the way, let's get into the 3 best prop bets that I got for you guys here. First of which is going to be Jhonata Diniz by knockout at plus 200. He's going up against the grapple-heavy approach of Carl Williams, but we see as we get into deep waters with Williams, he leaves himself a little bit more susceptible to getting clipped and put away. I think we saw a lot of bad decision-making from Justin Tafa in the second and third rounds against Williams. He was close to putting Williams away, but was unable to. But I think we'll see a lot more discipline and technical approach from Diniz, who comes from a kickboxing background, and it's clear he's been working on his at least his takedown defense when he's expecting opponents to take him down, and he's got to know that Williams will be looking to take him down. We saw Lane get Diniz down relatively easy in the first round of their fight, but I think he was more so surprised at how quickly Williams went for the takedown there, and that kind of caught him off guard. But you saw him in the second round, way more privy to that, did a good job in terms of managing the distance, sticking and moving, and then eventually waiting for that knockout to show itself, and he fully capitalized on that opportunity. I expect him to do that to Carl Williams here, who is not known to be much of a finisher. And even with Lane getting about 4 minutes of top time against Diniz, he was unable to finish him, and I think Diniz can do a good enough job in terms of staying safe on the bottom if he does get taken down in the first round again. But in the second and third rounds, I expect to see a much better version of him and eventually lead to a knockout victory for him, which is why at plus 200, it's worth a shot. The second best prop bet that I got for you guys is going to be Danny Barlow by knockout at plus 110. He's going up against short notice debutant Nikolai Veretennikov, who's on a 3-fight finishing streak of his own that led to this opportunity for him to jump into the UFC after he came up short on the Contender Series a couple years back against Michael Morales. I think that we'll see Barlow showcase his defensive grappling to keep this fight upright, and then eventually force Veretennikov to trade with the strikes, and I think the speed and power advantage will clearly be on the Barlow side, which will eventually lead to a knockout victory for left hand to God. So give me Barlow and Barlow by knockout. And the third best prop bet that I got for you guys is going to be Marcin Tybura by decision at plus 350. Yes, this is heavyweights, but Tybura is a guy that is no stranger to going the full 15 or 25 minutes if he needs to. Considering the amount of time I expect this fight to take place in the grappling realm and the jockeying for position that we're going to see from both guys, I expect this fight to go to the scorecards, but I do think that Tybura will be the one that puts together a better body of work to get his hand raised there. I think he is the better striker, and I think he'll be better in the scrambles and eventually start pulling away with this fight as Spivak starts to slow down and really starts to get demoralized from his inability to establish that top position as he has had success with against prior opponents in the past. But I really expect Tybura to be the better overall fighter here. And again, more than likely this fight ends up going to the scorecards, and I think Tybura ends up getting his hand raised there. The long shot here is going to be Chepe Mariscal round 3 against Damon Jackson. That's going to be plus 750. We know Jackson has a bit of a cardio issue at times, and he has slowly worked on that, but considering the work rate that we're going to see here from Chepe, I think that we could see Jackson have some early success, but as we start to get into deeper water, I think Mariscal will be the fresher and better fighter overall to put Jackson threw the grinder, and I think that will eventually lead to Mariscal getting him out of there in the third round of this matchup. Seems like the public is already on it. As a few days ago, this prop was up at plus 1,000. There's already been action on it, but it still meets the criteria for being a long shot, in my opinion, which is why I'm more than willing to put it in this video for you guys. So Chepe Mariscal, round 3, plus 750. Let's get some. All right, that's a wrap on the UFC Vegas 95 content for the week. Again, I'll be back from being out of town on Sunday. Hopefully, can drop the Contender Series breakdown for you guys that night. Otherwise, it'll come on Monday, as well as the UFC 305 full card breakdown on Monday as well. Good luck on all your action this week, folks. I'll see you guys on Sunday or Monday. Peace.